let's talk about safety here. So it's
Best
going to be
players on the
Michael Taft.
field.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Michael Taft going to be there, or I don't know because they've cross-trained him at nickel. Maybe he slides down to nickel in certain packages.
Yeah.
Jelani McDonald also is cross-trained nickel or
Yep.
safety. Then you have Jonah Williams, who's finally back to, I guess, 100% off after the hamstring injury. Xavier
Hmm.
Filsme has, made some noise. And then Derek Williams also getting cleared. It seems like he's starting to play a little bit more in camp as well. So who do you think are going to be the two main safeties in their base defense?
I went back and forth with this like numerous times because my gut tells me like I've I've watched Jonah Williams, and if he is as good on in the like people were raving about him, right? And then had the hamstring, but like when you look at his range, his ball skills, like I think he brings an element that not even Taft has outside of experience. Like
Yeah.
Taft is the most experienced. He's smart, he's instinctive, but I think Jonah has a playmaking level to him that we needed in that secondary. You know, just guys who can just get the ball when given opportunity. Now, with that being said, I do like Jelani and I do like Derek. Like I think those two guys, um, I think one of those two would start. If I had to bet the house on it, I would go with I don't know. I honestly I like that's a that's a fully loaded question because I would need so much more in terms of who's
Yeah.
playing nickel. Because if
Yeah.
one of them, are you saying Taft is playing nickel on first and second down?
Yeah.
Okay. But then both of those guys are playing, right?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
and then, are you saying, well, it's the Taft is staying, then Gilbo's inside? Okay. But then who's the other one? And to me, it will be based on matchups, you know, because I want to say Taft plays to the boundary most times, or he did last year. He
I
played a
think so,
lot
yeah.
to the boundary as the free safety. Free safety and will always go together in the defense. Those are the guys that you want free, right? Um, so I think you keep him there because you allow Taft to kind of, not roam per se, but fix things in front of him. That's what
Yeah.
he'll be able to do. Whereas the other guy has to be more structured in terms of he has a nickel, he has the mic, he has a fill. Like he has so much going on around him. He has to be just like really focused in on I have to do this. Whereas backside, you got a corner, Will, one receiver. I don't have that corner better cover him. Behind me better cover him. You're on your
Yeah.
own, brother. Like so the if I had to put money on it though, I would go with probably McDonald. I'll probably go with Jelani. Just just in terms of I think he's a guy. I think he can cover just in
Yeah,
terms of
for sure.
playing in space. I think he can naturally cover. I want to see him get a little bit more aggressive in the run game, just in terms of him triggering and attacking things at times. Because the thing is, if even the back is Derrick Henry, if you beat him to the spot, that tackle becomes a lot easier. And just at times last year, watching him on tape, he didn't always go when I thought he saw it. Like I see what you see, go
Hesitation.
trigger. Yeah, just and it's just enough to make a 4 yard gain or a 3 yard gain turn into 6 or 7. And it's just like I know you saw it. So then that was when he would get rotated out consistently. But then in coverage, when it's time to cover, oh, I think he like thrives at it. So if I was a bad man, I would go with Jelani. How about you? Who you got?
So for the Ohio State game, it's going to be hard for me to believe they put Michael Taft in the nickel. For that game, I just don't think he fits in the nickel for that game. Personally, I think he's more let him, sit back there and make plays like
Absolutely.
the interception like he did versus Texas A&M, where he kind of read it, ran over the sideline to make the interception. I think you're going to need that in the Ohio State game, so I think he's definitely going to play safety. And then I think if Derek Williams is healthy, I think he's the most talented safety we have, other than Jonah Williams.
Mm.
Obviously, like pure talent, I think Jonah Williams is definitely the most talented, but I don't think he's nearly experienced enough. Like, I'm not putting him out there
Right.
week one starting safety versus
No,
Ohio State. I'm not doing that.
he might pee on
Um,
himself.
Yeah, I would probably go with Taft and Derek Williams starting for Ohio State. Now, I do agree, like later in the year, I could see Jonah Williams start to take some snaps away from Derek Williams, or I could even see, like, I
Yeah,
thought of this because Jonah Williams has the body type. I mean, he was listed as a linebacker. I could see him slide down a linebacker in certain packages as well.
that wouldn't surprise me either. That would
Yeah.
not surprise me. And that was kind of what I was thinking, just in terms of getting the best 11. I think at
Yeah.
some point it'll be three safeties, three linebackers, and and then you got your corners. That's eight, and then you go three down in your best three, and you have different blitz packages and things like that. But I like Derek Williams. Like when you're talking about like more just like complete in terms of
Yeah.
like he can do everything. I think to your point, I think he is the most talented right now. Um, I think Jonah has the most upside in his body
Yeah.
because he is the youngest in his frame. But yeah, Derek Williams is like I love watching him on tape. Like in it, but again, you know, coming out coming off injury, he has to get back in the swing of things. But I think our best chance for like to win, I think okay, pose this question to you. Do you so you go Kobe, Muhammad, Taff, who do you put at nickel? Who do you put at the other and Williams at safety? So who do you put at nickel? Are you putting Gilbo there?
What I would either put Gilbo or I mean, I'm going to throw this name out there because he's been getting a lot of praise. Just like no one even brings him up, and he's just getting praised. Grayson Littleton apparently must be doing something
He
crazy if
he
he's
is
getting
having a
this
hell of
much
a camp
praise.
apparently. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So him or I might go Jelani McDonald. Like I really like Jelani McDonald at nickel for the Ohio
At
State
nickel.
game because he can cover, and you know what they're going to do. They want
Fair.
to throw the football around, and
Yeah.
that's thing too. Like you hesitation, but he's not really going to have to hesitate with like let's say if they decide to do quarterback runs very often. Like I would dare the hey if you want to run Julian Saying go ahead. I will
Please do.
dare you to run
Right.
Julian. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think he's gonna. The hesitation would kill him in that game if he still has that.
No. So to that point, Jelani to me is better the closer he is to the line of scrimmage. Like when he get when that distance is 5 yards, 5 to 7 yards, opposed to 15 to 17, and he could just play quick, make decisions. He can even be wrong because the guys behind him. I think that's when he's at his best, opposed to when he's back deep and he can't make that mistake. Like he can't play as fast as he probably wants to, or doesn't think he can because he has to make the play. You know what I mean? So no, I actually like that lineup. I would love to see Jelani and nickel, Taff, and Derek Williams.
I've
Yeah,
been all
that'd
over
be
like Jelani
that'd be a
McDonald.
good
I
group.
said like at the end of the season, I thought they should shift him there to get him on the field because he's a good player, one, and I think he fits the nickel role pretty well versus especially a team like Ohio State. I think he fits it perfectly.
Yeah,
Now versus like a Florida, do I want him there with DJ Lagway running around? I don't know if I'd want him at that might be a Michael Taft nickel game where he can read diagnose and go attack DJ Lagway in the run game if need
good
be.
point. Good point.
Um,
Yeah, no, it back to what I said earlier. It's all about matchups, about getting the right matchups and right personnel, right? But at some point, someone is going to have to kind of like separate themselves so
yeah,
that again, like you just want to build cohesiveness. So I'm pretty sure they're working through a bunch of different rotations and looks to make sure that they all get snaps at nickel, they all get snaps at corner, just because you want to build depth within your
yeah.
group already. So yeah, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'm a big Jelani McDonald fan just because like I love guys who can cover because like I could cover, but I used to hold. So I always appreciate guys who just line up, play with their feet, and just easy at it because I didn't do that. I was holding.
Hey, if you don't get caught, it's not a penalty. So, and hey, and
Very
if
true.
also if you do it all the time, they allow you to get away with it a little bit more because you kind of set the standard of I'm going to do this
Yep.
every play. You can't call it every play.
Absolutely. You know how many what I've gotten called. I got called for way more like helmet to helmet hits than I did for holding, and I held all the time. I didn't feel like running. I'm not running.
It's kind of like referees in sports. I don't know why people don't understand this. That like Draymond Green should get a technical like every NBA game because he complains and bitches at the ref nonstop. But guess what? If you do it all the time, then that's your bar. You have to go like above that bar to get a technical foul. It's kind of like the same thing in football. If you're holding a little
Exactly.
bit every play, they're not going to call it. Now, if
They
you do
don't
something
mind it.
crazy, they're going to call it.
Exactly. Exactly. That, and I tell all players this: learn the ref's name. Hey, Mr. Jones, Mr. So and so, because we get a breakdown of which crew is it, right?
Yeah.
And you know what penalties they call. So if it was a uh heavy holding crew, yeah, that week, guess what? I'm not even I'm playing off. I'm not even,
Yeah.
because they're going to call it regardless. If it's close, they're calling it. Whereas other crews, they don't call holding. Guess what?
Yeah.
You are getting held every chance I get. So yeah, I always tell guys, learn the ref's name, because I'll be back there during the TV timeout. Hey, tell me about this. You know, just bring up a scenario, have them talk me through some stuff. Okay, now when I do this, is that allowed? He said, you know, within reason. Within reason means yes. So I'm gonna do it. And yeah, work the refs. The refs are just people who are doing their job, but they love to be, you know, loved up like everybody else. Goes a long way.
No,
Don't
that's
pay them.
true.
That's illegal.
David Keith Williams. I know there's been a lot of early press about Grayson Littleton, but he's a true freshman. I'm really interested to see how Wardell Mack looks at Nickelback. I Wardell Mack, like
I li-
Xavier Filsaime and Wardell
Mhm.
Mack are kind of in the same boat of me. They came on, they were highly touted, but they haven't, like, I haven't really seen him play much. I mean, the only Wardell Mack play I have is him dragging his foot in the back of the end zone versus Colorado State.
Yep.
That's literally all I remember. And Xavier Filsaime is special teams. Like, I don't even really remember him making like a tackle during actual 11 on 11. It's all been special teams
Yeah.
football that I've seen. So I don't
So
know.
all that tells me is there's a there's a disconnect, because guys that talented, you know, you would think would get the opportunity, and the fact that a true freshman is coming in and getting more press in terms of his how he's playing, and you know, just how far along he is, you want to hear that for those guys, but that you're not, is there's some sort of disconnect in terms of the coaches probably don't trust them, or they're just not making plays, which, you know, two things can be true too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's the thing.
I like Grayson
Little
Littleton though. Oof.
Yeah, I liked him when we got him. I thought he was underrated. And it's, I mean, in this thing too, like people aren't saying, hey, how is Grayson Littleton doing? They're bringing up the position group. And then the coaches are saying, oh, this dude's balling out. He's playing really well without being unprompted on the name. And that's the
Right.
thing too, even better, listen to the players. The players, I think it was DeAndre Moore was asked the question,
Hmm.
like, who on defense? And he literally said, who he couldn't remember his name. It was funny. He's like, oh, that dude, freshman, da da da. Oh, yeah, Grayson Littleton. He's a dog. It's like, okay, well, if everyone's saying it, then this
It has
dude's
to be
coming
some
in
truth
and doing
to it.
something right. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, you know, to your point, when it's unprompted, like, you know, they didn't ask about Grayson Little. It's just who's been, and his name is constantly coming up. That tells me, one, he's making plays on the ball. He's pestering the receivers, because receivers only remember you for two reasons. They are having trouble with you, or you're annoying to them, or a combination of both.
Yeah.
Because as a DB, like as a young DB, you know, he wants to go against the best guys, you know. And the fact that he's holding his own in that respect, to where a guy like Moore, you know, mentions him in terms of who's standing out, like to me, that says more than what any coach could say, because players know players. They know who can play. They do.
100%. I mean, just today, like, the right tackle position, again, not defense, but the right tackle position,
Yep.
uh, they said Brandon Baker was one of the hardest workers. And that was like, someone just asked about Brandon Baker, and that's like the first thing that comes out of Ethan Burke's mouth. That's a good thing. Like, that's why I like honestly listening to the players a little bit more, because they'll tell you more of the truth. Like, they've been media trained. They also haven't gone through enough real life action media of getting asked questions. They let some truth slip in there. Some of them good, some of them bad, but usually get
Right.
some good info.
Yeah. I mean, that's like players. Players will always respect guys who work like them. Ethan Burke, I remember going in there, like I remember seeing him, like, oh, who is this? Like, and he was young at the time, but like you saw like he was squatting. I'm just like, in the middle of camp, like you're moving weight like this. But so to see him in that light, and then hear him talk about one of his teammates in that light, they know, like the players know who works hard. They know who's doing everything they need to be doing in terms of in class, film room. Like they know more than anybody because they're always with each other. Like they are brothers for life. They don't even realize it yet. Like they're always bonded by being on this team together. So when players speak highly of someone on their team, it's because they've been watching and they've seen either the improvement or they just seen the work, and and guys always appreciate that.
No, 100%.